Today we are going to focus on building rotational power, a key to mastering both forehands and backhands. If you're a tennis player or coach, you know just how vital it is to have strength in these shots to succeed. So let's talk about how to create that power, because it's not just about your arm, it's about harnessing the strength of your entire body. To illustrate this, I've chosen none other than the world's top player Carlos Alcaraz to break down how he generates such incredible force. Watch closely because there are specific elements we can all learn from. First, look at how he uses his whole body. It's not just the arm swinging, but the rotational sling that connects everything. This is key, and we'll go deeper into it. Notice the way his thoracic spine, that upper back area, rotates during his follow through. It's not just about the arm reaching forward. Then check out the hips. This is where a lot of power comes from. You'll see how his back hip drives forward, but just as importantly, how his front hip pulls back. It's this coordination that creates such powerful shots. We're going to unpack all of this, so by the end, you'll know exactly how to apply these techniques to your own game. Ready? Let's jump in. When we think about building power, we usually picture exercises like this. Watch closely. This young man is crushing it. The ball's flying off the wall with great power, and while you might not hear the sound, you can definitely see the impact. Now, this kind of exercise is essential for building strength, but here's the thing. It's just one piece of the puzzle. There are other crucial components. First, you have to feel grounded. That's such an important cue because generating power starts from the ground up. Then you need stability. Stability is key. If your body isn't stable, how can your racket be? And if the racket lacks control, the ball won't go where you want it to. You can hit hard all day, but if the ball flies out of control, none of that power matters. When I talk about stability, I don't just mean in the legs. I mean full body stability is necessary, including your core. Think about the awkward positions we often find ourselves in during a match, sometimes mid-air, trying to hit a ball. When we make contact, the body needs to stay stable. Next, consider the thoracic rotation, which is critical not only in the follow-through, but also in getting into position to hit the ball. And then, of course, there's the kinetic chain. Using power from the ground up through the body requires proper sequencing. It's not always about being the biggest or strongest to have a strong forehand and backhand. It's the timing, sequencing, and hip mobility all play massive roles in producing power. We're going to dive into how to get those hips more mobile and functioning better for effective rotation and torque. Finally, torque is key to power output, and don't forget the thoracic spine. All of these elements work together to create true power in your game. We're going to dive into mobility, strengthening the core, and how to build and fine-tune the kinetic chain. We'll break down how to improve sequencing for maximum efficiency. And of course, we'll talk about torque, crucial for generating power. Here's the thing. If any one of these areas is lacking, the results will suffer. Everything is connected. If your hips aren't functioning properly, how can you expect to get the full rotation needed for strong, consistent shots? It's all about making sure each element is fully developed so you can achieve optimal performance. The 90-90 stretch is crucial for improving flexibility, strength, and control. Sit on the floor with your legs in a 90-90 position. Your front leg should be bent at a 90-degree angle at the knee, with the outside of your thigh and shin resting on the floor. Your back leg should also form a 90-degree angle at the knee, but the inside of your thigh and shin should be on the floor. Keep your torso upright and your hands can be placed on the floor to support your balance. Picture a clock in front of you And as you lean forward, aim for the 1, 12, and 11 o'clock position. Then rotate outward and perform a thread, the needle movement. Now it's important to understand that the hips are complex with 26 muscles crossing through them. So, to truly improve mobility, we need to target different areas with a variety of stretches and exercises to make sure we're addressing all the muscle groups. Once you work one side, rotate your body to switch the legs, putting the opposite leg in front and repeating the steps. Now, this bretzel stretch is fantastic. It's something you can do not just before, but even more importantly, after workouts to maintain good hip mobility and thoracic spine flexibility. It's excellent for the targeting the thoracic spine. And if you're feeling tight, you'll definitely notice it during this stretch. You'll feel exactly where the restrictions are. It's crucial to place something under your head for support. Lie on your side with your knees bent at about 90 degrees. Your top knee should be stacked on top of the bottom knee, and the hips should be at bottom 90 degrees as well. Reach back with your top arm and grab your ankle or foot of the top leg. At the same time, use your bottom arm to press down on the knee of the top leg, trying to keep it grounded to the floor. Slowly begin to rotate your upper body, opening up your chest toward the ceiling. Try to bring your top shoulder down towards the floor. Allow your shoulder to naturally open up and rotate back. Breathing plays a major role here. If you're not breathing through the stretch, you're not truly benefiting from it. You want to avoid holding your breath or tensing up when it feels uncomfortable. Instead, ease into it. It's better to do a slightly gentler, well executed stretch than to push too hard and miss the benefits. I really love this stretch. It's an excellent one for the thoracic spine using a TRX while in a lunge position. I'm in a low lunge position, which makes it more functional since I'm in a split stance, holding both TRX handles with straight arms extended in front of you, keeping the tension on the straps. Slowly rotate your upper body towards the side of your front leg while keeping your arms straight and holding the TRX straps. As you rotate, focus on opening your chest and rotating through the middle and upper back. Keep your lower body stable with the back leg extended and the front leg firmly planted. I move back and forth from side to side and it feels fantastic. Definitely give it a try. The sideline thoracic rotation is an excellent mobility exercise designed to improve the flexibility and range of motion in the thoracic spine, shoulders, and upper body. It is especially useful for tennis players and athletes who need rotational movement. Lie on your side with your knees bent at a 90-degree angle in front of you. Stack your knees and ankles on top of each other. Your arms should be extended straight in front of your body with palms together. Keep your hips stable and aligned by pressing your knees together throughout the movement. This ensures that the rotation happens through the upper back, not the lower back or hips. Slowly lift the top arm, moving it in an arc toward the other side of your body while keeping your lower body still. Your head should follow the movement of your arm, allowing your torso to rotate gently. As you rotate, the goal is to open your chest and reach your top arm to the floor on the opposite side, but do not force the movement. Hold the rotation for a moment. When you feel a gentle stretch through your upper back and chest, take a deep breath in, focusing on expanding your rib cage. Slowly bring your arm back to the starting position, maintaining control throughout the movement. The goal is to rotate the thoracic spine, not the lower back or hips. Keeping the knees and hips stable will ensure proper movement. Perform the movement slowly and with control to fully engage the thoracic spine and prevent compensations. Now let's talk about core stability and how it helps transmit energy. This is why a stable core is so important. If your athlete or you are generating power from the ground up but have a weak core, it can lead to what we call energy leaks. This means the energy won't transfer effectively from the ground through the core, causing a loss of power. As a result, the upper body won't be able to generate as much force. I'll show you some of my favorite core exercises that have been highly effective for the tennis players. This is the pal-off press. It is an excellent exercise for building core stability and strength, particularly for resisting rotational forces. Attach a resistance band or cable to an anchor point at about chest height. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Hold the band or handle close to your chest with both hands, keeping your elbows bent. Engage your core, keeping your hips and shoulders square and facing forward. Slowly press the band or handle straight out in front of you, fully extending your arms. The band will try to pull you toward the anchor point, but your goal is to resist that rotation using your core. Focus on core engagement to resist the pull of the band. This is the basic version. Once you start adding circular movements, it becomes more challenging. He is making sure to keep his upper body stable without tilting his shoulders from side to side and maintaining a tall posture through the spine. Now I'm showing you a variation. If you really want to challenge yourself, try doing it while standing on one leg. That adds a whole new level of difficulty. Now next, we're going to talk about oblique sling. The oblique sling refers to a group of muscles, primarily the obliques, that work together to produce rotational force, often in exercises involving twisting, pulling, or pushing movements. To train the oblique sling, you can do exercises that focus on core stability, rotation, and movement across the body. You can take a resistance band or use a cable machine. Go in a lunge position, but start with your back leg, knee on the ground first. What I'm doing is pulling the handle into my chest, then pushing it away. Keep your torso tall and stable, shoulders back, and core fully engaged. It's a pull, it's a push-pull motion while maintaining core stability. I'm engaging from the ground up, making it functional, dynamic, and challenging. Here's an amazing exercise for rotation, and you'll need a landmine for it. Most gyms don't have them, but it's really good, and adding weight plates on top makes it more challenging. You can see it mimics an open stance movement, which is exactly what we're aiming for. Initiate the movement by rotating your torso and hips to one side, lowering the barbell towards your outside hip. Your knees should bend slightly and your weight should shift toward that leg. Rotate back toward the center, driving the movement with your hips and core. The movement should be fluid, using your hips and core to generate rotational power. And now, as I rotate, I can generate power through the front. It's fantastic for building stability while keeping a straight spine, learning to rotate, and maintaining control. Let's talk about the kinetic chain from the ground up, which is extremely important. Without proper sequencing and power through the kinetic chain, our strokes will definitely suffer. When we think about developing power in the kinetic chain, we often focus on using a medicine ball, which is indeed a great exercise. However, it's crucial to prepare and strengthen the body first. For instance, if you're a right handed player, when you push off your right leg in a neutral stance, this is the movement you should be executing, driving off that leg aggressively. I'm showing you some variations here. You can use just your body weight, but I've added a dumbbell held at my chest to enhance power in this movement. Now, here's an excellent exercise: power using the ground to move. It's not just something you use a couple of times and then forget about it. It should be a staple in everyone's training toolbox. I'm focusing on teaching him how to generate and explode power as well as improving his lateral movement. While this exercise is commonly used for changing direction, I believe it's crucial for learning how to push off and drive effectively. He's just giving me a little side step and driving off. And here's the elastic band providing some extra resistance. Do this twice each side and for 6 to 7 steps. It's a fantastic exercise. In this med ball throw from a squat, you can see triple extension, engaging his hips, knees, and ankles. He is generating impressive height with the ball, showcasing excellent coordination. Remember, he is not just using his arms to throw. If I asked him to throw the ball up and down without involving his body, he wouldn't achieve the same distance. By utilizing his legs and connecting with the ground, he effectively transfers the power generated from the ground through his core and into his upper body and hands. Engage your core, keeping your back straight and shoulders relaxed. Lower your body into a squat position by bending your knees and pushing your hips back, keeping your chest up and back straight. As you squat down, position the medicine ball close to your chest, preparing for the explosive movement. As you rise, simultaneously throw the medicine ball upward and forward, using the power generated from your legs and core. Next, let's discuss how to create torque and generate power. When working on a forehand, we often focus on harnessing the power generated from the hip. It's essential for you to quickly get into position. We're working on that hip turn to help them achieve this speed. Additionally, using an elastic band is beneficial for developing a good shoulder turn, which makes the initial movement more efficient. I also really like incorporating bands as they help athletes better understand sequencing. Pulling through the band is excellent for this purpose. Another exercise I find underrated is the squat jump with a 360-degree turn. You don't see it often enough, but it effectively teaches athletes how to generate power and rotate. In this demonstration, he's rotating and then springing back effectively. It's not an easy exercise. You might start with a simpler version, like a 180-degree squat jump, landing without immediately returning. However, he has become proficient enough that I now encourage him to jump and spring back. Next, we need to focus on the open stance throw, where he is generating impressive power. At this point, we can start incorporating the medicine ball. One of the most common mistakes I see with athletes is using a medicine ball that's too heavy. If the ball is moving you slowly, that's not what we want. We aim for power, quickness, and a fast pace. A lighter ball can be more effective than a heavier one for this purpose. While it's beneficial to practice stationary throws, we also need to become more dynamic and consider the court environment. It's not enough to just throw the ball while standing still. We need to be agile. Here, we're doing an overhead smash, catching the ball and adjusting our bodies to follow through. It's a fantastic exercise. Now we're going to increase the dynamism even further by having the athlete move while using the medicine ball. He'll throw, run, and put in a lot of effort. He's doing an excellent job. Currently, he's using a 3 kg ball, which is perfectly fine. It's more challenging to use a medicine ball in an open stance compared to a neutral stance. I found that a lighter ball is more effective for open stance exercises, while you can opt for a slightly heavier ball in a neutral stance. Now I'm taking the player onto the court with me. We're going to have him move, split step, open stance, and throw the medicine ball. This is a great drill to do. However, before you get too aggressive with it, make sure you can get into position and throw the ball against a wall first. Once you're on the court, you can proceed and ask someone to feed you the ball while you smash it. I hope you can hear the impact as he's crushing those shots. It's incredible. Thanks for joining me today as we explored how to develop rotational power through various exercises. I hope you found these insights valuable for enhancing your game. But don't go just yet. If you're looking to identify and fix mistakes in your serve, I have another fantastic video for you. In it, I break down the different stages of the serve and provide exercises to help you correct any flaws. Click the link to watch, and I'll see you there.